So, to introduce our next speaker, his name is Dr. Jonathan Flor-de-Lis. So, he has graduated from the University of Santo Tomas Faculty of Medicine and Surgery with his residency training at Philippine Orthopedic Center in Quezon City. He also has done his joint replacement training at St. John of God Hospital in Ballarat, Australia. He's done adult hip and knee reconstruction training at Chonghua Hospital, Cebu City. He is a hip and knee specialist at the Orthopedic Institute, a member of the Philippine Hip and Knee Society, fellow of the Philippine Orthopedic Association, and has completed his AO Master's course on complete lower extremity fractures. He is also a speaker for bone and joint health, osteoporosis and osteoarthritis awareness speaker for pain management, individual, multi-specialty, and multimodal therapy, speaker for conscious parenting, speaker for resiliency, stress management, and, wow, your chats are covering it, and mental health awareness, and he is a health and fitness advocate. So he's very prepared and ready to talk to all of you. When we met last night, we could already tell he was so excited. So please, if you can, do like the virtual applause for Dr. Jonathan Flor-de-Lis.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that kind introduction, Gab. I will now share my screen. Let me see. So, hi everyone. Welcome to today. Thank you so much for having me. This is actually something that I wanted to share with you, even without med declassified. But since this is already part of the ALSA, I'm really honored to be here. I wonder if this is now showing in your computers. So this is how to develop your super brain. So type in the chat below if you can already see the PowerPoint.
It's visible, Doc.
It's visible now? Yeah? Okay, perfect. So a little bit about myself. Although I am an orthopedic surgeon, I really love to teach, mentor students and professionals. And I think that is the second thing that I am passionate about. It's not just being a doctor. So as Dr. Kitts mentioned, you can do so many things. You can cross borders. You can do whatever you like. You can't limit yourself with just being a physician. I know a lot of you have gifts and talents inside. So right now, I'd like to share with you, this is something about myself. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, you can just scan this. And these are my disclosures. These are based on the teaching of my mentors. So the renowned brain and memory expert, Jim Quick. So the idea that a lot of us have is we have to put in hard work. We need to work hard, study hard, get things done. But this idea is, again, just a belief, because you don't just need hard work. Hard work may be part of the how, but you also have, like Dr. Kit said, she had people around her. There's also the who, the people around you that will make you a doctor, that will lead you to your success. There's also people, and there's the why. Why do you want to become a doctor? That's very important for you to know. So I want you to listen. Please stay till the end, because I'm going to share with you the number one skill that can help you in any business. So it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, if you're going to be a businessman, a nurse, a teacher. So stay till the end. So thank you again for having me. I'd like to acknowledge everyone for being here, because success in life is two things. One is showing up, and two, you need to play full out. And that is where you put in the hard work, give it 100%, and then you will find success in life. So I want this to be fun. I want this to be fast. I want this to be functional, something that you can use so that you can be inspired. And by Monday, you can already be using my techniques so that you can memorize the stuff that you need to do. Okay? So I want to ask everyone, because maybe some of you are not sure, who really wants to be a doctor? So type in the chat below, who really wants to be a doctor, and maybe tell me a little bit. Maybe there's someone who's not sure. Maybe some of you have been forced by your parents. So is there anyone like that here? Someone who's been forced by your parents, you don't really want to be a doctor. So I wonder if I can see their chat. Am I able to see their chat, Gab? Or
I'm not sure, but they are chatting. A lot of them are raising their hand.
Okay, so everyone wants to be a doctor. There is no one here that does not want to be a doctor. So that's perfect, okay? So there's no one who does not want to be a doctor. So is it okay, guys, if I share with you a little bit about my story, how I came to be a doctor? Is that okay with you? Yeah? So right now, I want to share with you that because my parents were both doctors, I really, really wanted to be a doctor as well. Because this is what we are. We follow our parents. They are our heroes, right? And the thing is, when I was in elementary school, I got scolded a lot. And I really didn't want to learn about math and history and civics and culture because I wanted to be a doctor. And there's nothing in school, in elementary school, about being a doctor. So my mom would scold me a lot because my grades were really, really low. So I don't want you to think that if you have low grades before or even now that you cannot be a doctor, because that is a misbelief. And what I'm trying to tell you is there are some of us that really hate school but really want to be doctors. Another reason why I probably hated elementary school was because my parents one night forgot to pick me up from school. So if you are an 8-year-old child waiting for your parents, it's time to eat dinner, then they realized that I was still in school. And if you realize how traumatic that can be for a kid to be left in school, those are the reasons probably why I hated school. Nothing about being a doctor in school, and probably because of that experience that I was always scolded and my parents forgot to pick me up. So who can actually love school after that? Well, the point I'm trying to make to all of you is that you can be a doctor even though you don't excel in school, even if you're not an honor student, even if you have average grades. And the thing is, one of the reasons why probably you are not excelling in school is because learning is state dependent. If you are bored with school, if you hate school, from a level of 0 to 10, hating school and getting bored, getting confused, that would be a 1 or a 0. And anything you multiply with 0 becomes 0. You're not going to learn anything. So remember, learning is state dependent. There are some times where you really hate what's happening in your life and you cannot study. That's because you have a certain emotional state. If your emotional state is something really negative, you can't study. That is the reason nothing is going into your brain. Now, when I was in medical school, that was when I was really happy because my dreams are coming true. I really am going to become a doctor. I'm now in medical school, and that's me. If you can see me smiling, that is me in first year medical school. And I was so motivated. This is a new life, fresh new adventure, because I was in Manila studying, and my father, he gave me a note, he posted it on the wall so that I could see it every day. Work hard and study for your future. So that every day, even though I was not with my family because it was my first time away from home, I would be motivated to study and work hard for my future. So I know all of your parents are very, very excited because you're in medical school. So the idea I'm trying to give you here is, if you have information, if you're learning new things, plus you have very good positive emotions, that becomes a long-term memory. Okay, information plus emotion equals a long-term memory. And that's probably why in medical school, I learned more and I retained more, even though I was not a honor student in medical school. I can retain some things that were taught to me during my first year until now. So this is an important idea, because your information plus the emotional state that you have can create long-term memories. So I want you to have a deep understanding of your motivation. One of the motivating things that I had was my father's work hard and study hard for your future on my wall. You may have something like this. You may probably have a reminder on your wall, and that's motivating you. But remember, feelings are very important. And later, somewhere along the way, when I was first year, I was feeling too much information. There was an information overload. Who here feels this information overload right now when you're studying? Raise your hand, comment on the chat below. Who of you feels this information fatigue syndrome? Too much information, too little time. And that's really how I felt, even if I was like a first year medical student. Anyone here feel like that? Yeah? So I'm saying,
A lot, bro.
yeah, and the last thing that is detrimental to your schooling, to your becoming a doctor, is this third line. I was doubting myself. Okay, so I believe one of you a while ago asked Dr. Kitts, it was maybe Dr. Glenn Diaz, he was asking Dr. Kitts, I'm not an honor student. Doc, can I still be in MSF later? Now, you have to start realizing you can either say that you can do this or you can't do this. Your beliefs will become a reality. So if you tell yourself, like I did back then, that I can't do this, this is too hard, there's too little time, there's so much to learn, then that will become your reality. And this is what happened to me. I was super stressed out in medical school, and there was one night that I felt really, really bad. My head started spinning after dinner. I thought about all the work that I needed to do, all the things that I needed to study, plus the research, plus the group work. And I felt really bad. My head started to hurt, and then my neck stiffened. I felt really bad. I couldn't explain it, but I needed to go to the hospital. I went straight to the emergency room of UST Hospital, where I was studying, and the nurse got my blood pressure and vital signs. My BP was 180/130, which is enough to give a heart attack or a stroke. So I got admitted in the University of Santo Tomas Hospital for 3 days. My mother flew in from Cebu, and that was when I realized something needed to change, because it can't be just hard work, hard work, hard work. You forget your life, you forget your health, you forget everything. You become burnt out and stressed out. That's why I made this for you, so that you don't need to make the same mistakes that I did, go through all the blood, the sweat, and the tears, and in the end, you will get what you want. You will become a doctor. So there is a better way. It's not just about working hard. Hard work is very important, yes, but you also need to work smart. There is a way to do smart work. So we will cover over this masterclass. Number 1 is the big lie. Number 2, how you can get the competitive edge over other people. We're going to take a look at the 10 delicious brain foods that can help you. And what's really important are our habits. So if you do not have a morning routine that will set you up for success, we'll try to tackle that as well. I'll be sharing with you a simple brain exercise that any one of you can do. I have my natural brain tea, which is actually, it used to be a coffee, now it's a tea. And lastly, again, stay till the end. I will be sharing with you the number 1 skill in any business that you can use. So the first big lie is our learning capacity, our IQ is like a shoe. Our shoe size is fixed, which means our IQ is fixed and limited. This is a big lie, because we can actually have the capacity for neuroplasticity, neurogenesis. Our brains can increase in size. We can continue to learn. And that means the phrase that old dogs cannot learn new tricks, That's not true either. What is really important is that you realize this is all a lie. That your memory is fixed, that your learning capacity is fixed, and that your IQ is fixed. Okay? That is the number one big lie. And if knowledge is power, learning can be your superpower. You can learn as much as you like. And unlike the traditional 3 hours of reading, writing, and arithmetic, what we are going to cover today is about how to retain information, how to recall, and how to remember the things that you have, which I know are a lot. And life is a reflection of our decisions. So when you become a doctor, your decisions will be based on what you remember. Could be from residency, medical school. And the thing that is stopping a lot of us, it's not just medical students. Even us doctors have this brain fog. There are too many distractions. There are too many thoughts in our head. And we may not be eating the right type of food. That can all contribute, one on top of the other, and give you brain fog. That's why you can't concentrate, you can't focus, and you're always distracted with so many thoughts. And here are the 10 delicious brain foods. So, number 1, this is something that we have here in the Philippines, is avocado. This has the good type of fats, and it's really great. You can use it in your ice cream or whatever. That's avocado. Number 2, blueberries. You can also call this brain berries. So you can eat ice cream of blueberries or blueberry cake. 3, broccoli. So a lot of people don't like broccoli. I love broccoli. And I've been teaching my 3-year-old son and my 5-year-old son to eat as early as now so that they love it. Next is MCTs. Coconut oil has medium chain triglycerides, which are really good for the brain. That's the next superfood that we have. And eggs. Eggs have protein and they're also good for the brain. Next, green leafy vegetables. If you are a salad lover, then congratulations. You are naturally helping your brain. Next is salmon. So fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, deep sea seafood, they have the good types of fats that can actually help our brain. So these are the superfoods that you want. Turmeric is a natural anti-inflammatory. It's the golden brown powder that you can see in different foods. And there are also supplements with turmeric for inflammation, for arthritis. And this is also a very good superfood. And this is a special type of nut. Can you see that it looks like a brain? And it's exciting how things in nature look like the part that they serve. This is a walnut. It looks like a brain and it's good for your brain. Carrots, if you slice them up, their cross-section looks like an eye because it helps your eyesight, your vision. Lastly, the darker the chocolate, the better. Okay, it gives you those endorphins and it's good for your brain as well. So these are the 10 super brain superfoods that I'd like you to take into consideration. And you could all blend them in a smoothie. Maybe take out the salmon in your smoothie. And of course, you can just jug it up. So I hope this is important to you because this is some of the foods that I like to take as well. Now, for the brain morning routine, this is the thing that will give you your edge. In the morning, you want to set yourself up for success. What you do in your mornings, that is your life in miniature. That is your day in miniature. So you have to create good habits, habits that empower you, not the habits that weaken you. This is something that everyone is probably very guilty of. I know all of you here are going to become superheroes in the future. You're going to become doctors, but please try not to touch your phone. You are setting yourself up for distraction. You are setting yourself up to be a reactive person. Imagine if you're a doctor and the first thing that you see on your phone is a patient that has expired, a patient, something like that, that is really negative, and you are setting yourself up to be like depressed for the rest of the day because something happened. maybe something that you saw on social media. Maybe it's another typhoon. Maybe it's a disaster. So please do not try to touch your phone the first thing in the morning. You are setting yourself up for distraction, and you are becoming a reactive person. So now I want you to take note of this. Remember your dreams. Your brain does not stop even when you sleep. If you have problems, your brain is trying to solve them even in your sleep. And this is why if you have dreams, you want to try to remember them, because your brain is actually giving you clues on how you can solve your problems in real life. So that's the number one super brain tip. Number two, you have to make your bed. Now, who doesn't like a made bed when they come back at night? You see your bed, it's perfect, you want to sleep on it. And in the first thing in the morning, this could be your number one win. If you already win by making the bed, you'll set up yourself for success the rest of the day. And if it's been a tiring day, you see that you made your own bed and it looks really, really great, then perfect. Number three, now brushing your teeth is actually the secret brain exercise. But you have to use the opposite hand. If you are right-handed, I want you to try brushing with your opposite hand. Your left hand maybe, or if you're left-handed, you use your right, and you brush your teeth for 5 minutes. And this is actually rewiring your brain, because there is a saying that as your body moves, your brain grooves. You can't really improve your brain if there's no circulation. So you want to move the different parts of your body. And I will give you an example. I'll give you an example. Now, I know that I can't see your chat, but try to memorize this. Try to memorize the myotomes of C5 to T1. Okay, if you're in neurology. So I don't want you to write this down. This is an exercise that we are going to do together. Okay, no notes. Just try to remember C5 is elbow flexion. No notes. C5 is elbow flexion. C6 is wrist extension. Okay. C7 is elbow extension. C8 is finger flexion. T1 is finger abduction. Okay. Now I have to ask all of you, how many of you got C5 to C8? So I can't see your chat, but may I know if there are people who are actually maybe PTs and they got, do majority of you have all C5 to C8? Let's see the, okay, now.
Yeah, someone's doing it though.
So someone did it.
Yeah, I saw Pia.
Pia, very good.
Right?
Wow, okay, so congratulations. You did it. And majority of you, so is that just Pia, or the majority of students actually got all C5 to C8? They're all geniuses.
Anyone, you can unmute.
Okay, so I'm assuming that very few got C5 to C8. Is that correct? Am I correct in assuming that very few out of all the people in the webinar? And one of the reasons that they got it right was because they were actually doing the movements. Remember, as your body moves, your brain grooves. So an easier way for memorizing would be actually doing C5 is, let's do this together. C5 is elbow flexion. So this is elbow flexion. So we're doing it together, C5. C6 is wrist extension. So C5, C6, okay. C7, elbow extension. Then C8, of course, is finger flexion. And T1 is abduction. So really quickly, C5, C6, C7, C8, and T1. Now, so isn't that easier to actually memorize things when you're actually doing it with your body? right? Does everyone agree? Sorry,
Yes, Doc.
yeah, thank you. So everyone agrees that this is actually useful. So brushing your teeth with the opposite hand is number 3. Number 4, you need to drink water. Early in the morning, our brains are dehydrated. That is what sleep does. It takes out all the toxins from our brain, gets them out. It leaves us dehydrated, and we need to rehydrate ourselves with a cool glass of water. Next, the brain tea. It used to be a brain coffee because I used to drink coffee, but now I took out the caffeine because what caffeine does is it actually dumps an additional cortisol in your body, and we know that cortisol is a stress hormone. Okay, so instead of dumping cortisol first thing in the morning, I took out my coffee, and the brain tea is mainly just MCTs with coconut oil. I put a little bit of butter. Of course, some people like to put other things like lion's mane. That's okay as well. So if you're a coffee person, that's okay. But in general, you don't want to drink coffee 90 minutes after waking up because early in the morning, you have a spike of cortisol, and you don't want to increase your cortisol levels even further by drinking coffee within 90 minutes of waking up. So I made it into a brain tea. Next, I actually have a journal. A lot of the top athletes, great leaders around the world, geniuses, they journal. The question is, are they geniuses and great leaders because they journal? That is the question. Because they are actually reflecting on the things that they need to do before today. What the journal does, it brings clarity to your day. You really know what you want to do. There's no vagueness in your goals. And you think about the things that you're grateful for. So this is one way of setting you up for success. Making your goals really clear, not vague. Writing down the things you're grateful for. That's called the gratitude practice. It's really helpful. That is something that you may want to include in your morning routine. Now, exercise. It doesn't need to be a really high intensity exercise. Of course, you can do that, but it could also be a walk with your dog or a walk outside the house. You could do a little bit of calisthenics. But remember, we've already made the point that as your body moves, your brain grooves. So if you do a little bit of exercise just to sweat during the day, now the secret with sweating early in the morning is it actually repairs damaged brain tissue. Okay, so that is the secret with exercise. You not just give out endorphins, but you actually help repair brain tissue when you exercise early in the morning. And the next, number 8, is a cold shower. So after a quick bit of exercise, after you sweat, you want to go into a cold shower. The colder, the better. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Wim Hof and the Iceman, how cold showers actually reduce inflammation, and it puts you in this theta state that is a brain state where you can actually have creative thinking. So a lot of us, or a lot of people, have really brilliant ideas when they're in the shower or when they are in a cold bath. Okay, so it puts you in the theta state, reduces inflammation. If you're an athlete, cold showers are really good for regaining that muscle fatigue. Next is something for the soul. So combining breathing work or breath work with your prayers, breathing, and just trying to meditate, that is a tip, because a lot of CEOs, a lot of top athletes, they are now doing this. There are actually 1,500 studies that actually state the benefits of meditation, something that used to be really woo-woo or fringe. Okay, people did not want to do this before, but now there is science backing it out. It rewires our brain again for the different things like success, gratitude, from negativity to positivity. It calms you down and it improves your focus. Now, lastly, new learning. Okay, new learning. You have to learn something new every day. You have to apply what you learn every day. And Now we are going to do another exercise without looking at your notes. Without looking at your notes, how many can you recall out of all the 10? So no cheating, no peeking. This is an exercise on how many out of the 10 can you actually recall. This is your quick brain exercise. Okay, now I wanted to chat with you. I wanted to see your numbers. Let me know who actually got 10 over 10 without any cheating or peeking at the notes. Who got 10? Who was able to remember all 10? Yes? No? Anyone? Wala? How about 9? 9? Anyone got 9?
Me, 9.
Wow.
9 daw.
Congratulations. Okay, now majority of you may have had difficulty in remembering. And the next exercise that we are going to do together is I'm going to help you with remembering all those 10 things. Okay? Now, I want you to close your eyes. We're going to take a deep breath. Okay? And let's do this together. We're going to do this exercise together. So close your eyes. Start breathing deeply. And I want you to use your imagination. Okay? We are going to use your imagination. We are going to link things because we are going to focus first thing in the morning. As I wake up, I sit down on the chair. Okay, so remember this. On the chair, imagine on the chair, I am trying to remember my dreams. Okay, that's number 1, the chair. Number 2, after the chair, I go to the bed and try to fix my bed. So imagine, first is the chair, trying to remember the dreams. Number 2 is the bed. We are fixing the bed. Number 3, we are going to the bathroom because I'm brushing my teeth with the opposite hand. So 1 is the chair where we remember our dreams. Number 2 is the bed. We fix the bed. Number 3, we go to the bathroom to brush the teeth. Number 4 is the refrigerator because I want to drink a cold glass of water. Number 4 is a cold glass of water in the fridge. So 1 is chair, 2 is bed, 3 is the bathroom, 4 is the ref, 5 is the kitchen because I want to make a brain tea. So 5 is the kitchen. After the brain tea, I go and journal on the table. So we are linking different parts of the house. First was the chair. After the chair was the bed. Then we go to the bathroom to brush. Next is the ref, get water. 5, we go to the kitchen because we are making some tea. 6 is the table where I journal. I'm writing down the things that I'm grateful for and the things that I need to accomplish for the day. The next thing after journaling is going outside of the house to exercise. So I'm now in the garden exercising. And after the garden, because I'm sweaty, I go back to the bathroom and get a cold shower. After that cold shower, I sit down on the sofa. So from the shower to the sofa where I meditate, and after the sofa, I need to get into the car because I need to go to work. But at the same time, I turn on an audiobook for my new learning. So car is number 10. So let's open our eyes, and that's our exercise. Now, who can actually say that they memorize a lot more? They have from maybe a 5 to a 6, or a 6 to a 7, from 8 to a 9, or a 9 to a 10. Who has improved their memory just by using this 2,000-year-old technique called loci. It's a memory technique. You are placing certain things in certain places and remembering those places. Who can say that I memorized more? I had progress. Yes. So very good. So we have people raising their hands. They did the exercise and they can actually remember more. You can use this not just in memorizing things or a list of things. You can use this for perhaps a speech, or if you are in a meeting that you have the minutes of the meeting, you can use this technique to memorize those. So that is another technique. You win the morning by doing these things. These are my routine. You have to create your own routine. I'm not telling you that you have to memorize this, but the technique here is called loci. It's a memory technique. That's why if you forget a person's face, the first thing you ask is, where did I see that person before? Where is it's because it's been used before and the language is still there. I remember that person from a place. Next, we're going to talk about digital dementia because we are using our smartphones to use it for our notes. We're taking pictures. So instead of our brain remembering, we let the phone do the remembering. And that is why instead of remembering long term, you have a little bit of short term memory because you know that that information is in the phone. So that is digital dementia. You are actually making your phone smarter, but you're not getting smarter yourself. Now, the 5-minute brain exercise, we did it. We have the 10 keys to unlocking your super brain. And we're going to use a similar technique. And this technique is very similar to the loci technique, the 10 keys in unlocking our super brain. You can do this. Remember, we're going to work smarter, not harder. Remember, the first thing is you have to believe that you can do it. Believe you can or believe you can't. Either way, that will become your reality. Remember that you are awesome. You may have a little doubt, but you have to go past that doubt. I want you to shake your body. So stand up for a while. Before we do this, let's stand up. Okay? Let's make this a little active participation. Now, I want you to breathe. You can sit down now. You can breathe. Okay. Now, I want you to shake your hand. Shake your hand. Okay. After shaking your hand, I want you to place your fist. Place your fist on your chin. Place your fist on your chin. Okay. Where is your chin? Where is your chin? Is this your chin? Okay. Is this your chin or is this your chin? Then chin. Okay. So some of you got it right. Some of you got it wrong. But the purpose of this exercise is a lot of us think that we are paying attention to the teacher, listening attentively, but we are actually distracted and our attention is somewhere else. And that is why you don't retain information. The problem may not be retention, but the problem may be attention. Maybe you're not really paying attention. Maybe you're thinking of something. So the key here is to really devote a certain amount of time to giving 100% of your attention to the teacher, to your classmates, to whoever is speaking, because if you lose that attention, you're not going to retain any of the information. Okay? Now, we have, what was it? The 10 keys to unlocking our super brain. So this is something that I'm going to share with you, another technique. And what are the 10 keys to unlocking your super brain? Number one, I've already given to you are the 10 super brain foods, right? Now, what is the number two? Number two is you have to kill ants. So what are ants? It's an acronym for automatic negative thoughts. You want to kill automatic negative thoughts because, like I said, believe you can or believe you can't. Either way, that becomes your reality. So number two, kill ants. Kill your automatic negative thoughts, doing a deep breathing exercise, probably with a meditation, or psyching yourself up, saying words of power that I can do this, I can do this. That's number two. Number three is you have to exercise. You have to do an exercise of some sort. You have to move your body. That's number three. So number four, what is number four? You need to take in good brain vitamins like B complex. And There are nootropics as well. That's number 4. Number 5, in order to survive medical school, you need a positive peer group. So Dr. Kitts mentioned earlier that the one that helped her through medicine or residency was a very smart individual. The secret is having a positive peer group, people who will lift you up when you are down, people who are there for you. It could be your family. Don't push away your family during really stressful times because they can help you. Don't push away your friends, especially nowadays that we can't hang out because of COVID. That is number 5, the positive peer group. Next, we have to have a clean environment. Okay? A clean environment is the next number 6. Number 7, I'm teaching you that you need to have good quality sleep. It is not the amount of hours you have of sleep. The most important thing is actually the quality of sleep and getting up the same time each day. That is the key, a good sleep. Number 8, you have to have brain protection, especially if you are riding a motorcycle, if you're doing sports, which are really rough, you have to protect your brain. So brain protection is number 8. Number 9, to unlock your super brain, you have to continue to learn. So new learnings is number 9. And lastly, stress management. Okay? Now, so we're going to do this exercise again. How many of you, without looking in your notes, have remembered all 10? How many have remembered all 10 keys to unlocking your super brain? Okay, so anyone? Has anyone memorized everything? All 10? Yeah? Yes? No? Who would like another technique? Another technique for memorizing these things? So, okay, anyone? Did anyone actually memorize everything? Yes?
Yes, some people said me, Doc.
Oh, great, congratulations. So, thanks, and that is really great. You have progress. So people have done the 10 things. And who would like another technique for memorizing those 10 things?
Me, Doc.
Yeah? Okay. So I'll tell you, I'll show you another technique of memorizing these things. Instead of using parts of the house, you can actually use part of your body to memorize these things. And some of you may already know this memory technique for the body. Okay? Anyone who knows this technique? Can you show us? Anyone here? Yeah? Anyone who knows a memory technique using the body to memorize things?
The same one we did earlier, Doc.
Yeah. No, we were using the body to memorize instead of the places or places around the house we used a while ago. It's still a type of loci technique, yes, but this time we are going to use our body. Okay, so if you have not chosen the different places around the house that you want to use as a memory loci, you can actually use different parts of your body as a memory loci. Okay, so we're going to do this together again. Okay, we're going to do this exercise together. Now, number 1 is your head. So let's do this together. Number 1 is your head. Okay, when I said the 10 superfoods are important, try to imagine the broccoli, the salmon, the chocolate, the avocado all around your head. So this is how you're going to memorize. You're going to act like a kid playing with your imagination. So number 1 is your head. You have your superfoods there. What is number 2? It is killing ants, right? Killing ants is number 2. This is number 2. Point to your nose. This is number 2. Number 2 is your nose. And what is coming out of your nose? Imagine your ants. So imagine those ants. Ew. Ants coming out of your nose. So it's very rare. It may never happen. And that's why you are going to remember it, because there are ants coming out of your nose. Okay. Number 3, your 3 is your mouth. Okay. What is 3? You are going to exercise. You're going to do push-ups with your tongue. Okay. It's not going to happen. It's absurd. And that's why you are going to remember it. You're going to do push-ups and exercises with your tongue Tongue is this is number 3, your mouth. So 1 is your top, 2 is your nose, 3 is your mouth, and number 4 are the brain vitamins. So imagine there are different vitamins coming out of, here's your 4. This is 4, point to your ear. You have brain vitamins going out of your ear. So imagine that, your brain vitamins going out of your ear. Next is number 5. This is number 5 here. This is number 5. You have your throat or your larynx is number 5. Touch this. This is where you have friends talking, your positive peer group. You have a positive peer group. That's number 5. Now, number 6 is, this is number 6, your shoulder here. Okay, so we're going to do number 1, number 2, okay, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. And number 6 is a clean environment. So imagine someone sweeping here, sweeping there. Imagine a broom or a vacuum cleaner on your shoulder. It'll probably never happen, an eye vacuum cleaner on your shoulder. That's why you're going to remember it. Number 7 is here. This is number 7 here. Okay? So try to see this. Number 7 is your collarbone. Imagine a hammock or duyan. You're sleeping there, or someone is sleeping here on your collarbone. Okay? That is good quality sleep. Number 8 is the tips of your fingers. Okay? The tips of your fingers is number 8, and imagine little helmets. That's brain protection. You're going to protect your brain. That's number 8. Whether you're doing a motorcycle, sports, or whatever, you have to protect your brain. Number 9 is actually your belly. Okay? So you touch your belly right here. That's number 9. So what can you imagine as new learnings? New learning is number 9, and it's in your belly. I would imagine books in my belly, which would never happen, or maybe a library in my belly. That would never happen. And lastly, your bottom, okay? You touch your bottom, that is number 10. Number 10 is stress management. Now, you can imagine something amazing that's happening in your bottom or something gross. It's up to you. That is number 10. And those are the different 10 ways to unlock your super brain. Now, this time, try to challenge yourself. Since the bottom is stress management, and you can actually use this memory technique, not just going forwards, but you can memorize it going backwards. Okay? So let's do this together. What is in our bottom? Can you type in the chat below? What is in our bottom?
Stress management.
Yeah, stress management. Okay, what's in our tummy or in our belly?
New learning.
New learning, perfect. Yeah, new learning. And what's in our fingertips? The little helmets. What are the little helmets?
Brain
Brain protection.
Brain
Yeah.
protection.
What about the collar? What's in our collar? You have?
Good quality sleep.
Yeah, good quality sleep. Perfect. On your shoulder, what's on our shoulder?
Clean environment.
Yeah, you can definitely focus when your environment is clean. You can study better. Number 5, what's here?
Positive peer group.
Yeah, your positive peer group. So your friends are speaking there for you. Number 4, what's here? Number 4?
Vitamins.
Vitamins.
Brain
Perfect.
vitamins.
Brain vitamins. All right. Okay, what about the mouth? What's the mouth doing?
Exercise.
Okay, what's number 2 and what's number 1?
Number one is the brain for food.
Number 2 is
And then kill ants.
Yeah.
Number 2 is kill ants.
So the beauty, so you now have the beauty of the loci technique. Using this technique, whether it is part of your house, whether it is part of your body, you can memorize something forwards, you can memorize something backwards, you can do it. This is an amazing technique that you can use right away. And lastly, before I leave you, I think that we have the number 1 business etiquette. You have to remember someone's name. Okay, when you see a person, how can you show that you actually care for your patients if you don't really remember your name? And we are always taught when we interview a patient, we have to introduce ourselves. And really, it It doesn't matter if they don't remember our name, but if we remember their name, that would be amazing. Why is it amazing? Because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care for them. Does that make sense? So you could be the board top-notcher. You could be number one in your class, the best ever doctor. But if you don't share to the patient on how much you really care about them, how much you want to help them, they will feel that from you. They don't care if you're the smartest doctor. They don't care if you know how to treat his illness. If you're like that, you won't have a good practice. You won't have a relationship with your patient. This is from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you say. They will forget what you do. And this is true. I do surgeries on people and they'll forget that I did the surgery. They'll forget what I said. They'll forget all the advice, but they will never forget how you made them feel. A patient will never forget how you made them feel. It may be really good and positive that they will be giving you stuff like maybe a gift, or you could be in a litigation not because you said the wrong things, but because how you said it really hurt them. Okay, this is really important. If there is one takeaway as you become doctors, this is it. You have to make them feel good, and then that would be even better than treating their disease, making them feel good. Now, so let's go. This is very embarrassing because a patient will most likely remember your name, but you forgot the name of your patient. You forgot the name of that person who was just introduced to you. So these are the 3 keys to combat forgetfulness. My mom, okay? My mom will help me remember. So what is this acronym? Number 1, it is motivation. So imagine this. If this person who was just introduced to you is about to give you $1 million, would you actually forget that person's name? Right? If you were given money and it would be a huge amount, you would probably remember that person for the rest of your life just because of that thing. So there's that motivation. That's the first M in mom. Reasons reap results. So you have to make up 3 reasons why you want to remember this person. Maybe he's good for business. Maybe this patient is your first patient, or maybe that you want to really help this patient. These are things that you can do. Okay, so make up reasons, maybe some really good reasons that you can forget that person. Number 2 is observation. I've already stressed. This is the chin. This is not the chin. You have to pay attention. It is your observation. You have to be present. And really, this is a big key on how politicians, people, they gain followers by being powerfully present. Their powerful presence on a stage or with someone is because they are present. They give you their 100% attention. Okay? And because they're giving you 100% attention, you will feel important in that moment. That is how you want patients to feel. By being present with your patients, they will feel that you really care for them. When you look into their eyes, when you're actually repeating what they say, that's probably a technique called mirroring. Because you truly care for your patient, you repeat what they say just so that you are on the same page. Because you could say the same thing and even have a misunderstanding. Other doctors will just write on their notes or write on their EMRs, the history and PE. They don't really look at the patient. How do you think that makes the patient feel? You're not present with the patient. You don't have their attention and they won't have yours. That patient will maybe not come back to you. So observation is the next O in mom. And number 3 is the mechanics. Now this is really how we are going to remember a person's name. This is the mechanics. Be suave. Okay, be suave. B is you need to believe that you can remember the person's name. Number two, you need to exercise this activity as much as you can because you want to form a habit on remembering people's name. The S in suave means you actually need to say a person's name. You don't want to say, maybe you're going to shake the person and say, hi, good morning. Good morning, Ted. What's your name? Ted? Yeah, you have to repeat it about, use it. That's number two. You say it, then you use it. You repeat it about 3 times during your conversation. You repeat it so that at the end, you don't want to mistake. You say Ted in the beginning, but at the end, you say, bye-bye, Ed. Bye, Ed. Okay? So use it about 3 times. Don't abuse it, because if you're saying Ted, 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 Ted so many times in your conversation, that is an abuse of the person's name. So say it about 3 times. The A in suave is you want to ask about the person's name. Wow, that's a beautiful name. What does it mean? Is it from the Bible? Is it Christian? Is it from a certain country? You ask about the person's name. And V, you visualize something. So if you're visualizing Ted, maybe you can try to visualize Ted as a teddy bear. Okay, something like that. And E in suave is end. You have to end with a person's name. And using this be suave, hopefully you can remember your patient's name. And this is where I end our Super Brain workshop. I hope that we have enough time because, as I mentioned to the ALSA group, I do have, if I have time, Gab, is it okay if I share with you an opportunity? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You can have around 5 to 7 minutes still, because it's still 11:45.
Okay, so I got a few things I'd like to share to you. So now I'm gonna say that you have a great responsibility because you are going to be doctors of the future, and with great responsibility, you actually have great power. So I want you to use everything I taught you. So you work your memory so that your memory can work for you. And my offer is simple. I want to share something that I'm passionate about. I want to share my goals for this next web class in the future is something I made because a lot of the students were feeling overwhelmed. They were feeling stressed. They said they were unbalanced because of so much things to learn. They don't have enough time to balance their family responsibilities with their school responsibilities because everything has been done at home. Okay, so they're unable to adapt to this new normal. And because you're unable to adapt, I actually have an idea that in this masterclass, I'm going to share with you some secrets, not for just more focus, but also to become more aware, less stressed. And I know that it's going to be a burden if I take too much of your time, which is why I'm probably going to have this for about an hour only. An hour of your time if you want to be less stressed, more focused, more aware of the things that are happening to you. I want to help you because this is not just for med students. This is actually for people who feel that they're so busy that they don't have time for anything. And if you are that person who is already balanced in life, then this is still something that you can learn from. If you're really busy or if you're balanced, if you think that you can improve yourself one step further, this is for you. This is my Med Mastery webinar. I teach about positive psychology. The value is about 1,000. I teach you self-awareness practices. I teach you secrets for peak performance. I will include you in the Med Mastery FB group, and I will give you a guided meditation. So, and this is about 5,000 peso value. Of course, I am not going to charge you 5,000 pesos for this. The last year, I was offering this at 1,000 per attendee pre-COVID. And Ask yourself, how much is it worth if you want to transform yourself, your current self, into something even more? Is it worth for you to become a better version, to up-level yourself? I am giving this at $575 per attendee. This is about how to get through med school without getting stressed out. That's what Med Mastery is about. You can actually take a picture, scan this. This will lead you to my calling card, which you can message me directly through phone or through my email. And I just want to share with you, a lot of you may be thinking about joining or not joining. I want you to think that it's not about just right now, it's about the future. You don't want to spend a lot of time making your own mistakes when I've already done a lot of mistakes for you. I've wasted a lot of time in medicine, in residency, looking for better ways to do things, smarter ways to do things. I've wasted a lot of money in seminars, courses, and events just so that I can improve myself. And I want to share this with you. And as you know, in my story, I've been hospitalized because I've had a really bad anxiety attack in the past. And I do not want this to happen to you. This is why I created this. And I learned this really the hard way. And that is why I want to show this with you, because I know that you can do it too. I've been sharing this with different people already, to teachers, students, and even different professionals like doctors. This is about emotions and your energy. This is about getting through med school without getting stressed out. I've been doing this in different schools, in mainly CIM and UV. And I teach my students to choose positivity, even though they're stressed with so many things. I want you to feel awesome after I give this. And I've been giving this to doctors, not just students, of course. They think that this is really an important thing that is a big daily must do. So what I'm going to teach you are things, bite-sized things, just like right now, that you can use right away, not just for med school. It will be for residency. It will be something that you can use in the future if you become a consultant. The next intake will be for next Saturday, 9 a.m. That will be November 21. And you can just register through the link. Just scan the QR code. So I'm giving this only at $575. All you need to do is take a picture, scan the link. For the first 20 people, I'm giving a bonus. So you can have a free discovery call with me. If you are looking for a mentor in life, if you feel sort of lost in a way, I can help you. And this is for the first 20 people, a free coaching call. I'll give you the different steps to reduce like your fears or anxieties. And if you want to become a speaker, to inspire, to influence your patients or your audience, I'm going to help you with that as well. I'm going to share with you these different things for the first 20 people. You can register through this, and the registration I will close at 12 midnight Wednesday. So this is the Med Mastery webinar, and just register through here. The next thing that I will give all of you is 100% risk-free guarantee, which means if you are already registered, if you've done the webinar on Saturday, and if you are not if you're not satisfied, I will give your money back. No questions asked. I will give your money back if you are not satisfied with the webinar next Saturday. If you think it was a waste of your time, then I'm going to give your money back, which makes this risk-free. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I think I'm going to stop here, Gabe. So if there are any questions, yeah.
Okay, Doc, thank you. I think there was just one question.
Yeah, sure. Anything about anything.
Like a recipe for brain tea.
Okay, so yeah. So the recipe for brain tea, it started at first with a bulletproof coffee, okay? But since I didn't want to take caffeine early in the morning, it's just for me a quick 1 spoon of coconut oil, because it's high in MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, and I really quickly add grass-fed butter. Okay, so it's similar to a bulletproof coffee, except it doesn't have the coffee. I just slice a piece of butter that is grass-fed. That's very important. The type of butter is important, and the MCTs. So you can have XCT or coconut oil. There's different brands for these types of MCTs. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, you're very welcome. Sige. Any other questions about Super Brain or about learning?
Someone asked, they want to know if you have any self-help book favorites.
I do have a lot of self-help book favorites, but I think if you are low on time and you want to have a nice self-help book that is also a story, I would go for Robin Sharma's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. If you have a lot of time, I would recommend Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That is a classic. And if you want to speak, if you want to inspire other people, then I would recommend, sorry, daghan ko books, pero if you want to speak and inspire and influence other people, there is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that is by, who was it? How to Win Friends and Influence People. I forgot the author. Who was that? But
Dale Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie, yeah, correct. That was Dale Carnegie. Yeah, so I love Dale Carnegie. I like Robin Sharma. I like Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And there are so many other books, and there is actually a specific book for a specific thing. But the problem with books, like in medical books or any self-help books, sometimes it's not just the how. Remember that sometimes you need a who, you need your why. So you have to have a why, your purpose in life, your motivation to actually implement the things that you are reading. You need people around you to push you, even if things are feeling really down. So that's why you have your parents, your teachers, your friends, your coaches. And it's also all these things together combined that will lead you to success. The who, the how, the why. The books are just part of your education. And don't let anything in the way of your education. Yeah. So I hope that helps, and I hope that's of value to you.
Okay, so thank you, Doc. And if you guys have any more questions, you can always message our Facebook page where you guys read.
Yep, you can. No worries. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And
thank you, Doc.
Thank you. I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Okay, so
Thank you, Doc.
we will screen share back our slides so that we can have our very last trivia question. We will be announcing the winners for that as well for you guys. I'm sure you guys want to know who got the 100 pesos. If you were paying attention also, I'm sure that you probably saw who won these parts, but we will be mentioning. Oh. Okay. Yes, we will be first showing the certificates of appreciation that we will be giving to both Doc Flordelis and to Doc Kit Sarte. Okay. All right, so the certificate goes to Doc Maria Cristina Sarte for sharing her valuable knowledge and experiences as a guest speaker during Padayon Educacion's webinar entitled Med Declassified, a Med School Survival Guide. All right, and then same as well for Doc Flordelis. So we'll be in touch with you guys afterwards to send these. You guys will also again be getting designed PPEs from Philip Tampos, who is a local Cebu designer, and also bags from International Pharmaceuticals Incorporated, full of the goodies that you need now, like alcohol, some soaps, some effervescent oil, all of those kinds of things. So we will be in touch so we can send that to you. All right. So thank you very much, Gams, for sharing that. So next is our trivia question number 3. So get ready again to type one last time to get the chance to win 100 pesos. So let's go. Trivia question number 3 is, what is the organ removed in a cholecystectomy? So go ahead and chat. Okay, we see your answers. So the answer is, next slide, gallbladder. Yes, it is the gallbladder that is removed. So we will be taking note of these. So before we move on to the next part, which is our closing video or our final video, we just wanted to share some things. I know that you guys, when you guys registered, there was an option for you to type in a message. And these messages were supposed to be for the people that we are giving our school supplies to. But also, if you think about what you typed, it's something that all of you might need as well. So some of you said, don't lose hope and have faith. God bless, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. So they put a Bible verse in. Believe in what you can achieve. So if you guys can take the time to encourage kids that don't have the same opportunities as we do, just think about it. Sometimes you need this kind of advice as well. And that's something that you can also take. So hopefully this video will help in closing off everything today with everything that we discussed. So go ahead, guys.
I think there's no music.
Yeah, there's no audio yet. Gams will audio. But okay. So while we fix that. Okay, you know what? I'll just, while he's fixing the audio, we have the 3 winners already. So I'll go ahead and announce them now before the video. So Gams, you can just, maybe you're muted or something, but if you can figure that out while we're discussing winners. So our winners for the 100 pesos each, we have Pia Acusar, who was the first answer for question number 1. So you will be getting 100 pesos. We're going to get in contact with all of you guys for us to send you the 100 pesos. And then, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but Janefa or Henefa Kanoy. So you're number 2. And then for the third one, it's Janahe Selga. So those are our 3 winners for our 100 pesos. So again, we will be getting in contact with you guys after this webinar. And then don't forget also that we will be announcing the winners for our giveaway at 5 p.m. today on our Padayon Facebook page. Okay, go ahead, Gams, you can join.
Becoming a physician is something that you can accomplish. Have you ever felt like giving up? Like this path is too hard? That's what we're going to talk about today. How to overcome those feelings. How to overcome wanting to quit. Becoming a physician is something that you can accomplish. I hear too often from students that this process is too hard, that they doubt their abilities to do this. They're in the middle of studying for the MCAT and they don't know why they're putting themselves through this every single day. And trust me, I've been there. I've done that. I've been rejected from medical school. I thought that I wasn't good enough to be a doctor. And yet, here I am, a physician, having gone through medical school, having gone through my internship year, having taken care of patients for many years. I got through that process because I knew why I wanted to do it. And you have to know your why. Why do you want this? As you're sitting there studying for your 4th, your 5th, your 6th MCAT full-length exam, sitting there for 7.5 hours, you have to remember the patient